Hi everyone, in today's video I will talk about how to set up lighting for our composition applying the principles of three-point lighting, commonly used in studio photography. We'll create the scene first. Our scene today will be relatively simple, mostly using the objects available in the library. I search for bank and select this object. Then we'll need to create a backdrop for the whole scene. Actually, it's not a must to create a backdrop for lighting system to work. However, using a plane as a backdrop will make your final output more detailed. Because by setting up plane, you will get shadows on the floor or on the wall in case you use a curved plane as your backdrop. Since I don't need to have a shadow on a vertical part, I will only create a plane on the horizontal part. Click Add, then choose Plane. I will expand it so that it can cover the entire viewport. For assets taken from the library, you will notice that the assets already have a color scheme on them. So, a small tip here for you, we should set all the colors of the object to white for now. Because when we add many objects and each of them has a different color scheme, the whole scene will become messy and it will distract you from composing your scene. So let's not think about coloring at this point. Detach the material of the object node, create a new material and name it basic color, then apply the new material to every object node. Since the focus of this video is on the lighting setup, I'm gonna time-lapse the scene creation to avoid wasting time. I will put some of necessary information in the captions. Next, I will start a coloring process. The scene looks a bit dark, so it's better to brighten up the scene by increasing the intensity of the default directional light. I want the light source to be on the left and cast the shadow on the ground from the left to right, so we're going to change the rotation and also move the camera a bit. Next, we will use three main colors. A small tip: usually reducing the number of colors to 3 or 4 will help you have a more consistent color scheme and also avoid messing your scene with too many colors. Click on the object node and detach a white material. Try the new color choices and save another material in case you want to apply it to other object nodes. demonstration of the 3-point lighting system used in studio photography. It involves using 3 light sources placed in 3 different positions to control how light and shadow fall on a subject, creating different moods. Key light is the main light and also the strongest light of the system. This light will give the whole scene overall exposure. It is placed in front of the subject and off to the side of the camera. It gives depth to the subject and can create a high-key image or low-key image depending on its setting and position. Fill light will be in the opposite position to the key light. It fills more light into the shadow area that the key light creates to bring out more detail of the subject. Basically, the fill light will not be as intense as the key light in terms of intensity, and the backlight shines on the subject from the behind. This creates rims of light around the subject that help the subject stand out and separate from the background, making the whole composition be more visually interesting. I will first turn off the default light source and recreate the lighting system from scratch. I name the first light Key Light, put it to the left and rotate it at 45 degrees angle towards the subject. Next, I duplicate the Key Light, name it Fill Light, place it in the direction opposite to the Key Light and turn off the Cast Shadow option. Similarly, I copy-paste to create the backlight, put it behind the composition and turn off the Cast Shadow option. So, this is our 3-point lighting system. We will need to tweak the transform of each light to create a more eye-catching light effect. I will hide fill light and backlight for now and focus on the key light. Set the intensity of the highest of the 3 lights and soften the light with shadow softness and cascade sizes. With fill light, the intensity value should be lower than the key light. With backlight, changing the radius value will change a lot how the rim lights are rendered. I continue to change transform for each light to create the direction of light that I want. I can show you a trick. Because the metallic surface is quite sensitive to light, you can use the metallic layer to make clearer highlights on the subject. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. Stay tuned for the next videos. Goodbye!